94.1 Hits and Hip Hop. Get your radio right.
Right now, I got a very special guest, Brooklyn's own Red Cafe in the building.
Shake down.
Is it still? I know you're a Miami boy now, so is it still safe to say Brooklyn's own? Or?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm Brooklyn. I'm always gonna be Brooklyn. Brooklyn is me. I'm gonna take Brooklyn with me wherever I go. But I do like the sun.
Love it, right?
And the beautiful women in southern Florida. Why not?
All right, so you being a New York dude, but relocated to the Trail 5.
Right.
Knicks Heat. Are you gonna rock a Amari Stoudemire jersey, or are you LeBron and Dwayne Wade? Like, where are your affiliations at now?
I'm definitely gonna be wearing a Knicks jersey.
Okay,
for sure. On the floor of the Heat game.
Believe.
Pray for me.
Believe that. So, all right, man, we're gonna get straight into it. You got 2 brand new songs out, and we got to talk about them separately, because it's not like Red Cafe and his 2 new songs. Both of them have totally different sounds, totally different feels. First one I want to talk about is the Fly Together. Red Cafe, Ryan Leslie, Rick Ross. And it just feels huge. It feels so big.
Right.
First, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
It just has a feeling like one of those records that people are gonna be talking about for a long time. How is it to work with those 2? Like, first of all, Ryan Leslie, who is a genius.
Right.
Not like a genius like this guy. Oh, he does this thing. He is a genius. Yeah. Like, how is it to be in the studio with somebody like that?
I totally agree. The minute we went in the studio, well, we had like maybe a few hour period where we was just vibing, and then we was just getting into talking about a lot of things, and I think that opens you up to the creativity when you have a conversation and you see what you guys can agree on or what y'all can relate to. And we went in there for a few hours and we did that, and then we got right into the music. I've been trying to get with Ryan for a minute to get in the studio and create a record from scratch, because I used him on the I'm Ill remix. Okay. And on the remix I had Claudette Ortiz, Ryan Leslie, and Lloyd Banks. And from then we said we would get together and we would try to do a record from scratch. As soon as we got in there, we vibed out for a few hours, got right to the record. That is the one and only record that we recorded.
How important is that process to you, as opposed to emailing hooks, emailing beats back and forth? Actually being in there with the producer, getting that hour or 2 to vibe with them before you even start working. How important is that to you?
I mean, I feel that, the best albums are made that way. In the studio, everybody in the studio. If you think back to Dr. Dre, The Chronic, you think about, a lot of albums that were really, really big, even Life After Death, or any one of them Death Row albums. Everybody was in the studio, all hands on deck. That's when greatness comes out, So I do a lot of records via email, and it's nothing like doing a record in the studio with another great creative person. It's nothing like that. So we got in there and we came up with the hook. This guy's playing the keys, he's playing the guitar, he's beating the drums. Like, it's the dude is amazing at what he does. And we came up with this record, and immediately, I laid my verses, and I was like, yo, I hear Ross' voice on there. I think Ross will be the icing on the cake on this record. I need that.
He came so hard for you too.
Yeah,
he came so hard, and this isn't your first time working with him,
right?
And you also work with like some of the people on his team. Like you've worked with like Mass Pike Miles, and stuff like that. Is that Miami influence, or is that just real recognized, real great artists understand the talent? Like how did that?
I think it's more of that, because we've been working together before I actually moved to Miami.
Okay.
And I've been knowing Ross for probably almost 10 years. Okay. And so we know him while he was growing in his greatness, and I was on the grind as an underground king. You know what I'm saying? We know each other and we respect each other from afar, and we created a camaraderie where we work together, we hang out. The Puff move, when Puff was involved with his management team, all of that, I was in the circle. Okay. So, it's easy. I just saw him yesterday. I just saw Ross. Okay. So, we have a great relationship, and he's challenging for me, to go work with him, because dude he's really about his work. He's in the studio every day. This guy works very, very, very hard.
From that to the other record, you have a record with Diddy, who's somebody that you're signed to. Right. How's it working with Puff?
Working with Puff, this guy, his grind doesn't stop. So I'm totally inspired by working with Dog. He came from being an intern to being $1 billion man. So, you know, for me to be able to be next to a guy like that and him to receive me the way that he receives me, you know, it's totally an honor. But Dog pushes me. He pushes me all the time. You know, he'll send me an update. Like, he does all his research. He'll send me an update like, yo, you see this? Come on, Dog. This guy right here is killing it. You know, whoever the new talent is or somebody that's working out, he'll be like, yo, you got to be my best fighter. This right here, you got to be able to whoop him.
You're not just the best fighter. You're not just the best fighter, but there ain't been a better bad boy since Mike Lowry. That's like my favorite. That's like my favorite line from that song. Straight up. So everybody who's, you know what I'm saying, seen Diddy on TV and on the whole making the band thing and all that, they think of Diddy. They think of that Diddy moment. Have you had a Diddy moment? I know there's got to be something that just comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, I had things where he'll lash at me because he never wants me to feel like I'm getting too comfortable.
Okay.
Because somebody else is going to be hungry and somebody else is going to come grab that spot.
Okay.
So anytime he thinks that I feel like I'm getting comfortable, yeah, he's going to say something crazy to me. And, you know, if you got somebody that you look up to, you don't want to hear that.
Right.
You don't want to hear nobody say something crazy to you, and then you like, damn, you look up to him and you like, damn, I don't want him to feel that way. Because I'm out here working hard, and you know that I'm nowhere near with the magnitude of the person that this guy is. So I would never want him to feel that I'm getting lax because he works so hard, you know. So I have those moments every now and again, you know, when I'm off the Ciroc, you know, and I'm chilling.
Red berry seems to be your
that red berry,
and
you
the
know,
peach, right?
Yeah, exactly. You already.
That's what you've had a very interesting career, in my opinion, so far. You have the situation with Diddy. You have the situation with Akon.
Right.
Do you still have the DJ Clue situation?
No. I don't know. That was just something. I guess they just knew that we were affiliated and they thought that we were.
So that was never like an official official thing.
It's just a homie. No.
You've been signed with Mac 10.
Yeah.
You've been signed with Capitol.
Yep.
You've been signed with Arista.
Yep.
You've been signed with RCA.
Yep.
You have had more record deals than probably anybody any artist that I've ever heard. Interscope too, right?
Yeah,
you still with Interscope.
But
we haven't. Koch, yeah, you did distributed through Koch, right?
Yeah,
but we're still waiting for that debut album.
Right. Yeah, I mean the debut album is on the way. You know, some of those deals, like I always reserve myself and held back if I didn't feel like it was right and the situation wasn't right. I would pull back. Then I had some instances when, you know, the record company just folded. Right. You know, and that was with Arista. That was with Priority. That was with Motown when they merged and folded. And it was just bad situations for me. So, you know, I hit the streets hard on my mixtape grind.
Absolutely.
I released my street records like Paper Touching. I released Hottest in the Hood. I'm Ill. Money, Money, Money. This is all independent work. And all these records was spreading. You know, they was doing well at radio, in the streets, in the clubs. The records got me touring in Africa, in Europe, Italy, Paris, Switzerland, Germany. You know what I'm saying? All of this, like, even on the islands, you know, I'm doing festivals and like I'm doing Mexico. I'm doing things like that, and that's all for my street records. No record company. This is the first record that a record company ever supported for me. Fly Together. Okay. So, you know, I don't feel that I'm frustrated or, you know, I'm not upset about, I don't have any regrets or I know I'm not upset about the past and the things that happened. I just feel like when it's time, the moment is going to happen.
So you're just not rushing it. You're just waiting for it. Have you been like offered like a stupid, like a crazy deal that just had like the worst clauses in it that they were just trying to get you?
Definitely. I mean, when I got to the point after my Motown deal, I got to the point where I was just like, I'm cool on the record deals. Yeah. I'm straight. Like, because, you know, they give you a couple dollars and, you know, they pretty much own you. And you don't really have the control that you need. You really have to wait. And then if you have momentum, sometimes they might not be ready to go. Or, you know, if you're a street artist, sometimes they can't gauge it because if it's not on black and white, it's kind of hard for certain companies to gauge it. Right. You know what I mean? They don't know. I'm selling out shows in my whole corridor. Yeah. that really doesn't mean much to them. Like, they don't. How can they gauge it?
Yeah, they're looking at iTunes.
They're looking at black and white, and they can't gauge it. So it's difficult, you know. So I was just to the point where I'm like, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna just hit the streets and I'm gonna work hard, and I get it like that. And I started seeing success that way, you know, until we came to the point where Puff Daddy and Jimmy Iovine and the Interscope team, they said, yo, I love what you're doing, and I want to be your support system. I want to support everything you're doing. I don't want you to stop what you're doing. I just want to support you and make sure you get to where you need to be.
And you have an ill team. You have a lot of people that support you. And with all these different situations that you've been in, I'm curious, what's the craziest, who is the most unexpected person whose number you have in your phone right now? Because Red Cafe is well connected. Everybody knows that. Who would you think is like the most, like you're just scrolling through your phone, like who's the most unexpected person in there?
Unexpected person, huh? Probably Asher Roth, probably.
Yeah, Asher.
yeah. We saw Asher Roth. Well, we saw Asher like 2 days ago. Yeah. He came over spitting the Ill verse.
Nice.
He's like, you know, I mentioned him on there.
Okay.
So he like, still rap white like Ash Roth. So you know, he appreciated that, and that was dope. You know, I'm a fan of what he does. So dope, dude is dope.
Okay. You were a part of the Urban Wrestling Federation. Did that ever go down? That actually went down? Did you have a match?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I don't actually do the wrestling. I just have a team and a crew.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm like the leader of the team, and I got a crew. I got a crew of wrestlers.
All right.
And we just want to go get to the money. Like I send them out, and they have fights and matches, and we get paid for it.
Word. So,
you know, I had to pick some dudes that's really thorough and really about it. You know, they got crews in Atlanta. They got crews in Florida. So I got a crew from New York.
Okay.
And, you know, we do pay-per-view matches. I'll be in the corner getting my Tupac on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? yeah. But it's a lot of fun, and I thought that it was something different, something that we can try. And I'm excited about that too.
Yeah,
know what I mean? Yeah,
that sounds right out. Red Cafe in the building. It's the new Wild 94.1 hits and hip hop. This man has worked with a lot of artists in the game. One of the people that you've worked with the most is Fabulous. Yeah. Do you guys you were planning on doing the Bedrock Boys thing, right? Is that still something that's in the works?
Yeah, for sure. It was just a timing thing. We wanted to do it this fall, but you know we were scheduling our own albums, and you know it was time that I had to put out my single.
Okay.
And he started working on his record. So we just figured that it'd be better for us to wait till after the releases of his album as well as mine. And then we'll come with the, you know, start the Bedrock movement. And I want the Bedrock records to sound totally different.
Okay.
From a Red Cafe album or a Fabulous album.
Okay.
So you know it takes time to create that and find out the producers that you want to work with. I want to work with guys that I didn't work with for my project.
Okay.
You know, just so the sound is different. I don't want it to sound like, you know, just another Red Cafe album or another Fabulous album. So.
Okay. Speaking of Fab, he had some very interesting comments that he made not too long ago. He was talking about the state of New York hip hop and why he thinks that other cities, Miami, Atlanta, other cities kind of went into the forefront. And not to say that they left New York in the back, but where New York used to be the Mecca, now it's, you know, there's other places that are up to par with them. What do you feel about, why do you think there was that shift, and what are your opinions about that?
My personal opinion about the shift in energy, I mean, you know, things like that naturally happen. That's a natural evolution. Where a wave would change and, you know, other people, that's natural. But if we talk about, you know, maybe not a total fall, but you know, just the less excitement coming out of New York, that'll probably, to me, it will be the producers.
Okay. Not the artists.
No, I mean the art. We make rappers in New York that spit. You know what I mean? They really get busy rapping. Now, but this is the music business though. This is not freestyle business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about making records. So when we were leading the pack, we were being produced. You had Jay-Z, he was produced. From his very first album, he was produced. From Clark Kent in there, Primo, they was in there with him every record. Nas, Primo and them, they produced him. Biggie Smalls, Puff produced him. Ja Rule, Irv Gotti produced him. DMX, Swiss Beats produced him. All of these big guys that were selling all these records were being produced. Now, when you look at all the other regions, whether it be West Coast, South, wherever the success is, those guys are being produced. They come in and they say, yo, listen, Davy, look, this is the beat. You rap here. This is the hook. This is the melody. You sing on it like that, and there's no egos, and they're being produced. Toomp in the South, Justice League, all of these guys, Drummer Boy, they're all producing these artists.
Okay.
Brand new artists, they're producing them. There's no one producing artists in New York City anymore. They made all the money, all the producers. They got paid crazy, all of them. And they're not producing the artists no more. I can say whatever I want about them because they don't produce me.
Right.
They didn't produce me neither. So they're still at fault. But then you got a guy like Ryan Leslie, he comes and he produces a record for Red Cafe, and look what we get. You see what I'm saying? Like, so my theory is true. You know, you get produced, you're gonna win because it's the music business, and the music is led by the producers from day one. Even R&B or pop, whatever it is, it's led by the producers. So I think that's where the fall is. I don't think there's nothing else. But
so what producers would
Swiss
you
Beats
love to be? But somebody who you've never worked with, that you could lock in the studio for a day, who would be your first pick? It's the new Wild 94.1 hits in hip hop. We got Red Cafe in the building, and he just said
it'll be Dr. Dre for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even if it takes him 3 months to make the record.
I'll wait 3 months.
You'll wait, right?
Yeah. I'll wait 3 months for that because I know the results. Like I know what I can do, and I know if I get in there with somebody that's equally. I have never been A&R'd.
Okay.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is raw talent and me just figuring it out. So you get. You know, you put a creative guy in the room with another creative guy, it's magic. So, you know, Dre, if you're listening, I'll let you boy.
Like, you've been in the game, you've been doing your thing. What is a mistake that you've made that you had to learn the hard way? Like, damn, I'm never going to do this again.
I mean, I'd probably getting in my own way.
Yeah? What do you mean?
Sometimes you got to get out of your own way, man. Sometimes you might overthink things too much. You might do a little extra when you shouldn't really not do that extra. So, you know, you could probably be your worst enemy.
Okay.
You know, so there's a lot of times that I always felt like I knew everything. And, you know, that's a big problem. You know, if you should listen more than you speak. So once I got past that, then, you know, I start feeling like I was in a better place. Like even in just being without music, just being a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get out of your own way for sure.
What's your creative process like? Your studio setting, like what's an optimal studio environment for Red Cafe? Like obviously the producer has to be there, not just on the inbox, but right. he needs to be there.
That would be preferred.
Okay.
You know, but more than likely they're not there. But okay. But right now I actually don't need a producer. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I got this. Yeah. But I would need assorted flavors of Ciroc.
Okay.
I would need women of all races.
Yeah. In the studio with you.
In the studio, yes.
Okay.
You know, because the scent. You know, candles. I need strobe lights. I need music at an ignorant level. That's how I make records.
Okay, yeah, disrespectful volume.
Yeah, disrespectful volume. Yeah, like you know, neighbors knocking, that type of volume. Yeah, and you know, just alcohol, and it's just a vibe.
Okay.
Like when I'm making records, especially for the club, I need to be in the club when I'm making the record. I need to,
mentally.
Yes, I need to put myself in the club. I need to the things that I say, you want people to say it. You know that you're gonna want to say it when they're intoxicated,
right? And
they want to express themselves. So my music is I make it so people can express themselves. They want to say whatever you've been through that week. If you don't like your boss and you just pissed off, you want to be like F the boss or whatever like that. That has to be in the record. It has to be passionate because the faces have to be made. Or you know what I mean, or for the women, they gotta feel sexy. You gotta say the things that the people want to hear as well. You know, so I need ignorant levels on volume. I need alcohol. I need women looking at me a certain way in the room. You know, that brings all that stuff.
Do you need the beat to write the song? Like some people, can only write with the beat. Some people like to write their rhyme and kind of match it to like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I used to write I still just write raps, period. Like, I might walk out of here, you might have said something and gave me an idea and I'll write it. But that'll just be like notes.
Okay.
Scrap notes that I put in a place that I save and I pull them out when I need them. But to actually write a song, I write to the track.
Okay.
Every time. Because the track has to speak to me. Unless I'm writing something about my mom or something, I can just write that.
Right.
But then I still got to find the right track to marry that, marry those lyrics. So, but I would prefer to write to the beat. Because, you might want the beat to drop out a certain way so you can express yourself differently in a certain segment. So to do it with the track, I prefer to do it that way.
I'm glad you said you write, because like there's a lot of artists, and ever since Jay came out with that, I don't write. Now there's so many artists that are like, I don't write. But then when you listen to what they're saying, it's like, bruh, you should be writing. You should take your time with it. So I'm real glad you said that, and because like I feel like.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a bandwagon that people almost started jumping on. Like, oh, I'm so raw. I don't need a pen. I don't need a paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I heard that from a lot of guys, man. It's actually hilarious.
And it's like
Jay-Z doesn't write though.
Right.
Like I've been in the studio with him.
Okay.
It's crazy. Craziest thing to me. I don't know how he does it. He remembers. He doesn't write.
Red Cafe in the building. Got my favorite song right now. The song that I got on repeat. Got the song, but you make that CD. Me personally, I make like a CD at like the beginning of the week, Monday or Tuesday. You know, something to bump in the car.
That's your soundtrack for the week.
Yeah, the soundtrack for the week, and it's usually like my favorite one or two songs are obviously song number one, song number two, and when that Fly Together came out, Cafe, I promise you that was song number one on my joint. Wow. New record featuring Ryan Leslie, featuring the boss Rick Ross, Red Cafe.
Right. And you know what? For me, that's. When I come with a record like Fly Together, when, it's for the ladies, salute to the ladies. Like, I made that record for the ladies. I wanted to acknowledge the ladies and let them know that I feel they can fly as high as we can fly. There's a lot of independent women out there doing their thing, single parents. I want to salute them. Now, when I come with a record like Fly Together, which is ballsy, because I'm the hottest in the hood.
Believe that. And you ill.
And I'm ill. So when I come with a record like Fly Together, it's really like, wow, this is the record that you want to come with? But I felt that record was just so classical and so different from what people has been putting out. And I always want to stand out, then just blend in, you know what I mean? Right. So I went with that record, and, for me, coming from you as being one of the homies, and you like, yo, this is my joint.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? That means a lot. That means that the record served its purpose.
So I know you said you were thinking about it, and was there any hesitation though to do that, to make that sound?
I mean, no, not to make that record, because I make records like that all the time.
Okay.
But you would have a hesitation to put it out as a single.
Okay.
But I put out so many street records. I feel like my name is certified in the streets.
Absolutely.
So I don't have to have those reservations where I can't put out a certain record, because you know what I do. And I got right back to the streets with that Let It Go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I feel like, you need that. You need balance.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fly Together creates that balance. When you, I think I'm Big Meech. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Then you can get to Fly Together, you have a balance.
Right.
So,
what can we expect from that album, that debut album that we've been waiting for? That labels have been signing you left and right, trying to have their logo on the back of that album. What can we expect?
Wow,
what is
right
it gonna sound
like?
That's
crazy right there,
Shake down.
I gotta shake your head. That's crazy right there. I mean, it's gonna, you're gonna know that the journey, like, helped me grow.
Mm-hmm.
This long journey with all these labels and all the different things that I went through. You're gonna hear confident, controlled artists on there, like, and you're gonna hear honesty. All my records are honest.
Okay.
Everything on the record is honest. I think that's very important, that you don't compromise who you are. You got to make sure that your music is honest. Everything about you. So those are the things that you're gonna hear on this record. I have great people that assisted me with it, artists, and just my team, you know, Interscope and Bad Boy and my Shakedown team. And, you know, it's going to be a record that I'm going to be proud of 10 years later. So I think that is very important.
Something timeless.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that's what, you know, with a record like Fly Together, I feel like it's timeless.
Okay.
I feel like that record is I feel like that record has people, they're going to love that record years from today. You know what I mean? Because it's going to hit home. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm happy that you guys have me over here on Wild 98. You know, I feel like this is my home. I got my shoes off.
Yeah. we got Red Cafe in the building. And lastly, what would you say? Because your mixtape buzz is crazy. And it's been like that. What would you say to somebody who would say Red Cafe is just a mixtape artist? What would you say to them?
I mean, from nowadays, and it's not even nowadays. Nowadays more so. But you have guys and girls that became very successful off a mixtape.
Absolutely.
The mixtape artist or mixtape is really just
like a stepping stone.
Yeah, it's just like a stepping stone, and it's kind of like a stigma, something that people are just putting on you.
Okay.
But they don't realize like how much you're getting from that mixtape.
Absolutely.
Like Drake became very successful from a mixtape. You know, multi-millionaire from a mixtape before he even put his album out.
Absolutely.
Nicki Minaj, same thing. 50
Jeezy.
Cent.
Yeah.
Jeezy. Like, you know, so the things that people say, like you talking down when you're talking about a mixtape, like I'm good. Me, my whole family, my whole team is good. I'll never put an album out. I am good.
Off of these mixtapes.
Off of a mixtape. You understand what I'm saying?
I heard that.
Yeah, and then, so these are things that you can, like, people say it to me sometimes, you know, people say that's cool, like, you know, I know that I touch people. This dude hit me the other day and said, yo, I just graduated college, you know, and your mixtape. But what he said, Chef?
He was telling me about how you autographed his tape when he was like 15.
Yeah, he said, yo, you autographed the mixtape, and that was my soundtrack when I went through college. That was my motivation, and you helped me graduate college.
Wow.
That's why I do this, dog.
That's
like
powerful.
I don't even need to get paid. Like that right there, you know what I mean? Because it was a long time that I wasn't getting paid for doing this. You know, I had other sorts of income. I had other other things that I was doing.
You were coming out of pocket.
Yeah, you know, I spent a lot of money on myself because I believed in me. But you know, there was a long time when I wasn't getting paid.
Right.
So at that point, it's a hobby. If you're not getting paid, it's not.
Right.
So I'm doing it because I'm getting feedback like that.
So do you have any words of advice to an artist listening to this right now who's on that, still coming out of pocket, just doing it because they love it, hoping that one day they can make a living off of that? What would you tell that artist?
Number one, just stay honest, stay consistent, persistent, don't compromise who you are. Make sure that your music is truthful. And the people that's listening, they're gonna get it. You know, if you talk about life experiences, more than likely somebody else is going through the same thing that you're going through.
Word. Now,
also, don't disregard or don't stop being a fan. Don't disregard the competition. You have to be a fan. I don't care if you're a DJ. I don't care if you're a rapper. You have to be a fan because there's somebody in their basement that's cooking. You know, and when they cook and they come up with that sauce.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention to that sauce, dog, because you know it might just have that flavor that will knock you out, you know. And then all you have to do is just pay attention to it, salute it, and take a little bit from it.
Yes.
And just make yours better.
Maybe put it in your sauce.
There you go. Exactly.
A little bit of that flavor, a little bit of that spice. Red Cafe. This man's a very busy man. Fly Together is the track. Fly Together is my track. I feel like that's like my jam right there.
Yeah, that makes me feel so good, dog, because so many records come through your station.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know you're a connoisseur of music. You've been doing this. You know about underground stuff. You know about the pop stuff. So for you to say that means a lot, man.
Yeah, it speaks to me. Is it available on iTunes yet?
It's available on iTunes right now.
Okay.
You can go get that. I'm sure the website has a link. I'm sure you can go to www.redcafe.tv. You know, you can at me at my Twitter at Red Cafe, on my Facebook Red Cafe Music, and I always post the links up there. It's 99 cents. You know, It's all good. And then plus, I'm going to give you this mixtape for free 99. So figure
Look at
that
that.
you're going to get the free 99 mixtape. You just pay 99 cents and you get everything. 15 records.
And man, I was checking out your Twitter, I was checking out your Facebook, and you really like respond to the comments. You really talk to your fans on your Facebook, on your Twitter. So salute to that. We commend you, and we're gonna try to get Cafe out with us in the club tonight. Much love, bro. Really appreciate you coming out. Any closing thoughts? Anything? One last thing?
Just a big salute to the 813, man. It's lots of love. I get lots of love here, you know, and I love this city, and I want to keep coming back to this city as much as possible. And we will be out in the streets tonight celebrating the win.
Yes, sir. It's the new Wild 94.1 Hits and Hip Hop. Davy with Red Cafe. And
Wild 94.1 Hits and Hip Hop. Get your radio right.